Good morning, all. I'm here to talk about a journey in PhysicsWallah where we achieved like almost 0% delta and where we introduced ClickHouse to our organization. Yes. So my name is Santhosh and I work at PhysicsWallah and I'm an STE2 for the past 4 years now. And thank you, Smarsh and Avinash and Siddharth for hosting me. And yeah, I'm here to talk about a journey at PhysicsWallah. So I'll just talk 1 second. So I'll briefly explain about the product and I'll talk about the journey, post which if you have any Q&As, you can ask. Yes. So I'll brief about the product of our product. We have, so PhysicsWallah is into edutech company, right? So students can watch lectures and they can also watch lectures. They can also, we have subject level and chapter level lectures where student can watch videos and we have DPPs. We have tests also where they can, practice and then also have their own tests, right, for each subjects and batches. So I'll talk about the product. So we have our SPD dashboard. So on SPD, what we do is it's called student parent dashboard. And yeah, if a student watches lecture or completes a lecture, they can see their progress, right? How many lectures they have completed, how many chapters they have completed, and how many time the video duration they have watched, right? So what our problem statement was, so we had multiple derived product also. Like we have SPD, we had Academy, where it is a B2B, where schools can integrate with PhysicsWallah, and also they can, the teachers can watch their progress and all, watch the students' progress and everything, right? So what our problem here was, previously we were using Mongo. Yeah. And this was the V1 architecture where we were using Mongo for our initial thing. So what our problem was, we had fragmented data. Like suppose say we have SPD and then the data was same only. Whenever a student, so it's like this, when a student watches a video and then that particular thing, that particular progress, we just update and then we have to show the same thing for all the products. So our problem was it was fragmented. Since we have to show the same data, we had to let's say for SPD, we have to show the same thing and we had their own aggregates in Mongo. So since it is the same data and then Mongo used to update for each and every collection. Let's say for SPD, it used to update the aggregation. And also in B2B, which I told like Academy and parents also we have. So all that it has to update. So if there is a lots at one end, no, the other end it will be showing. So student used to raise tickets like our emails would be flooded with mails and all with tickets, like saying my data is missing here, and it is present on the other one and on the other dashboard and not in this. So there one time we got a call, like I got a call from my manager, say they told like let's change the architecture only. Then came our ClickHouse. Yeah. So since ClickHouse is a time series based OLAP, so we thought, okay, let's store every raw data into a single table, and then based on the raw table, we can fix, we can build our queries and everything, right, for the end users. So that's how we thought, okay, ClickHouse was the best choice. And since it's a columnar, it has its own advantages, like real-time capabilities, and we thought of maintaining a single source of truth, and that's how this is our client. Suppose let's say a student interacts with a video lecture, right? And then he watches for like 10 minutes. And then we used to show the raw events in ClickHouse. And based on that, based on the client's requirement. So for SPDC, we had to show like a student, for a particular student, how much minutes he's watched for. Right. And for Academy, a student, the combined on all the batches, on all the students, we had to show the time for the teachers. Right. So we thought, okay, let's maintain a single source of truth. And then based on that, we can build our own aggregation and our own queries for the client side, for the client's requirement. So how it is. So whenever a client sees videos, we have our Kafka listeners. For each API, we have our Kafka listeners, and then we had our listeners in Nest.js, and after that we thought, okay, let's change our, since we are changing the whole architecture, let's use Golang for that because it has its own Kafka inbuilt libraries. So we changed our listeners to Kafka. From Kafka, from Kafka listeners to Golang from Nest.js. And from our DB, for our DB, we changed from Mongo to ClickHouse. So we have our map views here on top of the Kafka listeners. So since whenever a student watches a video, we listen to that event and then update the DB here on the ClickHouse architecture. Yes. So this will be our event architecture for now. We have our listeners and then we have our mat views built on the listeners. And this video stat is our raw table on which we store the raw events there. And then based on that, we have our multiple products like SPD dashboards, learn to earn. And we have our new OTT platform, which is India's first OTT for EdTech alone. Right? That is also built on that only. And that's how we used Kafka here. And after migrating to ClickHouse, we saw the ticket drastically reduced, the number of tickets which we got. Right. I'll show you the results on this. Yeah. So since ClickHouse was a self-hosted thing, we reduced the cost up to 40%. Right. And then data accuracy also was, we had a delta of 20 to 25%, and then it majorly drastically dropped to no less than 0.25%. And that's the current rate right now. And yeah, students also were empowered, like, so they didn't have to focus on raising the tickets, and also they can just watch the videos and all. So that's how it got driven for the students also. And 37% of throughput increase. So with ClickHouse, we can support now up to 4,500 QPS within 119 ms without any caching on this. And that's how what we achieved with ClickHouse. And then, yeah, that was our journey so far. And yes, thanks. If you have any questions, you can ask. Yeah, we do use MongoDB in other products, other modules as well. I'm sorry.
No, MongoDB is not the same MongoDB which was 2 years back. Now they're also improving in terms of adding vectors or vector embeddings and also. Right. So any thoughts on that? Have you relooked at the new MongoDB features?
No, MongoDB features we were using that because we thought, okay, because as a self-hosting, we can also reduce the cost, and that's how we moved to ClickHouse. Yes. So we are self-hosting ClickHouse right now, and then we don't have any cloud company. Yes. Yes. So we have a Kafka listeners. But first we had our Nest.js. Listeners were in Nest.js only. And then post that, since there was high CPU spikes, and then there were multiple aggregations during the listening events, right? So we had to update from one product to another one. So all this has to be going on synchronously or async. So we thought, okay, why not use Go listeners because it has its own Go routines and all. So okay, we thought, okay, let's move our listeners to Golang, and that's how we moved to Golang. Okay, yes. Right, yes. Right, immutable learning, yes. That's why we moved to ClickHouse. Joins? No, we don't have. We do have, but then on academic, that's what we have our own use cases. So we have joins as well, and then that is also supporting well with ClickHouse for our use case.
Okay. So these real-time dashboards, the customer facing means directly to the student you will be
end-to-end users only. First, we have a student dashboard, which is the basic building block. And on that, we have a derived products like a parent also can see students' progress. Whereas we have B2B concept, Academy, where the teachers can view the entire students' logs there. Yes.
So both are customers only.
Yes.
Yeah. Also customer. Another customer.
Yes.
Okay. So before.
No, this is a final architecture now. Yes.
So these Kafka events are coming from where?
Kafka from APIs, like from whenever watches a video. So we have our, synchronous calls for our API.
Ingestion
and
service.
Yes, ingestion service.
So from ingestion service directly, you
Directly
are
to Kafka.
processing in between like ETL.
No, nothing as such. So we have our, since I'll talk about the listeners now. So since it is in Golang, so what we do is we don't rely on much on front end side, client side. So on backend system, what we do is we just empower them, like enrich the data, and then push it to ClickHouse.
Okay.
So
that ingestion service itself, you are enriching
yes,
the data
enriching
with joins from
from
database.
Yes, metabase or Mongo only.
Okay, MongoDB.
MongoDB.
So from there you pull the data, enrich the event,
and
then pass
it on to the raw table, which is
maybe a little bit of transformations also. Maybe
Yes. Transformation is in between.
Yeah.
On the Kafka listeners, we have our transformations, and then post that we have our MapViews, which on MapViews also, what we do is we just flatten out the data. Suppose say I have my student watch like continuously for 5 minutes, and then in between he had paused or break the events. So that all we flatten it out, and then we just store the raw data in the video start table, because our goal was to store the raw data, and then based on that we can build our own products for the end users.
So these queues are part of ClickHouse.
Yes, part of ClickHouse.
Okay.
Right.
So it's kind of acting like a buffer.
Buffer. Right.
So if queue is already there, then do we still need Kafka?
No, Kafka is for enriching. From client side, we have a populated queue. From client side, whatever we take, we just use Kafka to enrich it. So once a student watches video, say I watch a video for 2 seconds, right? And then that particular event is captured and put into Kafka. And then we have our listeners in Golang who
consumers in Kafka consumers.
Yes.
So they consume
from
the
there
data,
we consume the data, we enrich them, and then push it to the queue directly.
Push the queue again on a different topic, and that will be ingested.
That will do ClickHouse.
Okay. So that's what I was. That block is missing here. So Kafka, your transformation service, Go service, and then again one more Kafka topic.
Yeah, the transformation is missing.
Yeah.
So transformation happens in between sort of consumers or
consumers.
Different colors, and it should be done and just
push it to yes.
How do you come those destination topic to
that's what we have our Kafka engines, right? We use Kafka engines, and through Kafka engines we have our MapViews, which we flatten out the data, and then through MapViews we just push to the raw table. That is a merge tree for yours.
So in terms of that enrichment, Kafka question. Will you be joining multiple topics or is it single transformations?
No, it's single transformation on yes. We just flatten it out. The MapView, what it does is just flattens out. That's right. Right.
Actually, they're accessing the databases from the Go routines. Yeah, what he mentioned, they're accessing database and enriching the event.
Right.
In terms of while enriching, you also have a dependency on database.
Yeah, that is so. Our end Kafka topic will be this Kafka engine topic, and then before that, the processing is done.
Because we also done the transformations, but we don't have any dependency on the database. So directly come data from Kafka to ClickHouse. And immediately we make it
flattened. Okay, same thing. Almost, but then before that, the enrichment and all happens. Yeah.
Okay. So before that, before using ClickHouse, what you were using? I missed MongoDB. Yes. For analytics.
For analytics.
So what was
that? Was that's what multiple. So since our products were fragmented, so for each product, we used to maintain collections. And suppose if it is missing in one collection, and then the other collection is there due to some disaster in production, like the pods would restart, that pods will crash, and then it would have memory outage also. Right. So based on all that, if since it was fragmented, and then we used to get multiple tickets, like our emails and all will get flooded. Like one student and parents also would reach out to us, and that was all going on.
So that was self-hosted MongoDB.
No, MongoDB is cloud.
So in MongoDB there is some hybrid, like they have an analytical engine.
Yeah, they have that. So to reduce the cost only, we use ClickHouse because of self-hosting. Sorry? No. It's in. I'm not sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
Self-hosting on AWS, I think. It's not like managed service. I think. So ClickHouse also has a managed service. So I think self-hosting means you are putting in your Kubernetes cluster,
Right.
open source ClickHouse.
Open source only, yes.
That is what you meant.
That's what we
self-hosting.
said. Yeah. No, I mean, we had a data team. So we were referring to 2 for 2 DBs. And since it is time series based, we just want to append only. Since it's append only, no? So for each event, no, since it's, so we just push it into ClickHouse, and then based on that, that's how we decided to use ClickHouse. Yes.
Sorry, I don't know this. So how do these OTT platforms store the media files and like in your case, student data, parent data, teacher data, school data?
Yes.
Those are the important metadata. But media is so where do they store media?
Media.
High, because they're typically very high size and streaming and. Huh?
Yes, that's how. That's a different pattern, right? Yes. So we just, I'm here to discuss on this journey only, like why we moved from Mongo to ClickHouse for our time series.
But on media also we have to run query, right? For example, somebody subscribed to physics videos,
Okay.
he can't see.
Yeah, that is not.
Or while watching, maybe in between his subscription ended. So means there should be some control plane messages for media as well.
Yes, that is.
So physically, where are they stored? Physical media means storage. Are they stored in the same database? Not videos, MP3 files, MP4 files, CDLs. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, S3 only majorly.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
What is this ClickHouse Kafka table?
Okay.
And from your OTT apps, how the data flows? Means in your OTT app, you show that slide about the goal and
Right.
libraries, right? So from the OTT app, how it goes to ClickHouse?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
And it is going on the ClickHouse Kafka tables, or again it's
no, it's on.
ClickHouse.
We have our merge tree table, which is our video start table. So what we do is we just show the progress of a student, where he's watched till, and what is the completion rate, right? And we have a CTS where a student can also mark a lecture as complete. We just show those progress, and then mainly we are into the analytical stream, no? So we just show the completed percentage, and then what's the duration a student has watched, and based on his watch recommendations, no, we just recommend the videos also based on the subjects and chapters. So all this logic is applied based on top of ClickHouse.
So it goes on your Kafka structure or ClickHouse Kafka structure?
No, ClickHouse Kafka structure.
ClickHouse Kafka structure. Okay. Thanks.
Yes. Right.
Any insights that you gain, on students' interaction, how they are using video?
Insights in
Means like how they are using the videos,
how they're using the videos. Yes. So we have our desktop and app side, both side, client side. So from app also they can watch. We have a structure like they have to enroll into a batch. Batch has like IIT, JEE, NEET, and all. Like suppose a student enrolls into batch, we have a subjects, right? So they go into a subject. Suppose I want to watch a physics, and inside physics I have chapter A, and I go to chapter A. I have 10 videos inside chapter A, and I watch all those, and that's how a student interacts with the videos.
So any insights that you gained after looking at ClickHouse, any improvements of how students would do it better?
Yeah, we did have we had a growth rate, but then I couldn't discuss that here because it's another one. Yeah. Sorry, we have a growth rate, like students, like how many after moving to this, no? The existing student also, where we had our own team. They called up the students and then asked about their experience now, how it is, and before how it was, and then that's how. Yes. Correct. So anything else? Thank you so much.
Thank you.